Awesome. Okay, good evening. Christmas in July. Awesome. Has anybody done any Christmas things as yet this July? Or are we all just too rushed off our feet and haven't quite got around to anything yet? About the only thing that I tell a lie. So last week we did pavlovas and vegan meringues, and last weekend I did mulled cider at a family barbecue, family bonfire thing, which was fantastic. Highly recommend mulled cider. I haven't really tried the mulled wine, can't answer to that, but definitely mulled cider. So welcome everybody. If you can let us know in the chat, feel free to ask questions in the chat or come off mute and ask questions, not a problem. So tonight we are actually going to cook. I'll introduce. So I'm Lisa, I'm the Thermo Empire team leader, and we have on tonight our team members. We have Claire, and we have Liz, and we have Wendy online as well. But I'll be doing all the cooking tonight. But welcome everybody and our team. So yeah, feel free to type in the chat and to come off mute. All right, so tonight I am going to make a Christmas tree spinach puff. Chai tea powder, which is yum, and caramel sauce, also delicious. All right, so I'm actually going to start with the Christmas tree puff because that takes the longest. Now, with every recipe, I just go through this every time so that everybody, because there was new people on all the time, you can actually scroll down and see how long, total time, portions, ingredients, your prep steps, or your recipe steps, your utensils, your nutrition, hints and tips, all that kind of stuff. And if you actually see here how that highlights a step in the recipe, you can actually, if you're partway through a recipe or you only want to do a section of a recipe, you can actually click on the step that you want to go to and it will take you straight there without you having to go next. All right, start cooking. So preheat oven to 400 Fahrenheit. So this is a recipe from America. And of course, that's the one thing I forgot to do. So 400 Fahrenheit is about 180-ish in Celsius. If in doubt, 180, pretty much for everything. Okay, so lay 2 sheets of parchment on a work surface. So I have my parchment here, which is baking paper. So always buy proper baking paper, because sometimes the other stuff, the cheaper stuff, isn't actually baking paper and it will stick. So next step, roll out 2 sheets of thawed puff pastry, ready-made. So this is American. So I've actually done this before, and I didn't roll it out, but I thought I might actually try it this time. Let's see, so, and I've got my inches. So it's 9 inches by 12. So this is actually 9.5 by 9.5. I'm just going to roll it out a little bit longer. My rolling pin that's right here. Not that I normally would, but it's only just a little bit. And it does make a touch of a difference when you actually want the Christmas tree shape. All right, we'll just do a little bit. Probably won't get to 12 inches. Let's see how far that got. Yeah. Really, I only got an extra inch out of it anyway. So what we'll do is we'll leave one that's done and then pop that down. I'll do the other one. So has anybody actually made their own puff pastry? Because that is actually something that you can do in a Thermomix. Has anybody done that? One hint for making your own puff pastry is that when there's a spot where you add water to the pastry, and I actually went to Nina, so she's an amazing Thermomix chef here in Perth. I went to one of her cooking classes, and she suggested that instead of putting water in, you actually add vodka, because when the oven heats the pastry with the vodka in it, you actually get a much better puff and better layers. So I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, pardon me. Have a drink of water. Okay, so we've got our 2 bits of pastry, sort of kind of a bit rolled out. So 5 ounces of cheddar cheese. So when you've got an American recipe, it will come up in ounces, but that's fine. You don't have to do any working out. You just throw in 5 ounces. So 5 ounces of cheddar cheese cubed. There's that, 5.1. 2 ounces of Parmesan cubed. So insert measuring cup. Okay, let's slow down. Okay. Next, so 5 seconds, speed 10. And it actually says turn speed selected to 10, shows me where 10 is, and I just dial her up. Okay, so next, transfer to a bowl and set aside. I should do that. Show you how we are. So that's all right to do with cheddar and Parmesan, but if you've actually got a softer cheese, such as a Gouda or something like that, you really want to chop it at, say, speed 6, speed 7, because otherwise it actually rolls into a ball and balls up rather than sort of milling it and chopping it. So next, so 3 garlic cloves. So of course it says 3, I have 4. 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. Let's just sort out things out here. Right. So 2 of parsley. So there's lots and lots of herbs and spices tonight. Basil. And of course, woulda, shoulda, woulda. Line them all up, didn't. There we go. Basil. So I've got those containers all lined up behind my pantry door. Teaspoon of oregano. That one. Has anybody got any questions so far? Has everybody got a TM6 or other Thermomix or no Thermomix? You can let me know. So dried minced onions. So I've got the onion flakes. Which is close enough. Half a teaspoon of rosemary. Rough puff. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fantastic, Jenny. Have you made it? how many, like, do you make it often or just once in a while? So half a teaspoon of salt. So it actually says a quarter of a teaspoon of dried red pepper flakes, which is actually capsicum flakes. Of course, got none of those because we don't have that in Australia. So I'm just going to skip that step, which even though we're following recipe, we can skip the step. That's fine. All right, so insert measuring cup into the bowl. So we've got all our spices in there. 5 seconds, speed 10. Away it goes. And next, scrape down the sides. Let me show you how we got. How's that? Good. So I always go around the bowl because I feel like I get more bang for my buck going around that rather than going scraping down. No scrape on the top. Scrape down the sides. Next, so 10 ounces of frozen chopped spinach. Now, I'm not a big fan of the frozen stuff, so I'm just going to shove as much fresh in as I can. Let's actually throw our scales on. Take it out. There it. Go. Sometimes I just refuse to play by the rules, and that's okay.
Lisa, are there any gluten-free puff pastry recipes? Or is that not a thing?
No, I would assume so. There's gluten-free everything at the moment. Yeah. Has anyone got cookie dough?
I'll have a look.
Yeah. Otherwise, there should be one out somewhere in the world, surely. Now, because we've got fresh spinach, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put my spatula in the hole. Next, so cream cheese. So we're not going to do that. I'm actually going to jump out of the recipe. So you see if I press a little house here, that actually takes me back to my manual screen. So to chop it down a little bit, I'm going to take the MC off and I'm going to stick my spatula in just to push it down so it gets going. And I'm going to chop it at speed 7. So that's about 4 seconds. Let's see what we got. All right. So apart from a couple of random leaves, I'll push that down. That's pretty much now your spinach done. So, and what I might do is just maybe do another second just to finish that chop off. Put the DMC on. Okay, that's 1 more second. So don't forget that everything that we do is really quick. So salads, 2 to 3 seconds. You can go from beetroot salad to beetroot soup. Oh, my light's not really working as much today. How's that? You see that? Cool. Nobody answered me, but I'm just assuming. Okay, so back to my recipe. So I clicked on the bookmark symbol and it's taking me back to the exact spot where I was at before. So 8 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature. So I'm actually using full Philly. A lot of the time I use light, but I'm going to go full fat Philly. It's 4 ounces. Oh, 8.4, close enough. So I'm not sure if you guys are pedantic rule followers or a little bit of a chucker kind of situation going. I'm a bit of a chucker, and that's perfectly fine, except for when you're doing things like baking and you need to have the right weights of ingredients. And also we actually have a sugar stages in our mode, which makes your honeycomb and your caramels and stuff, and that will actually ask you to have specific weights. The rest of the time, you're pretty much fairly free. Okay, reserve grated cheese. So we'll go. Next, insert measuring cup. Okay, so 10 seconds. Speed 10 shows me where 10 is. I don't know if you can hear that spinning, but if you actually ever hear the Thermomix whirring, what it means is that your ingredients have actually jumped up. I'll actually lift this one up to show you. Your ingredients have actually jumped up above the blades. That looks really good. And there's actually now an air gap underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my spatula in, and you should see a bit of a shrinkage from the air gap going. There you go. It's gone down. So then I'm just going to scrape it and come back here. So scrape down the sides, insert measuring cup. So it's going to do it again. Next, so 10 seconds, speed 10. I know it's almost done anyway, so I'm actually going to be quite a bit of a, and I can actually hear it jump up straight away. I had a little air gap, so I'm actually going to, I know everybody's not as confident as I am, so please feel free just to follow the recipe if that's what you need. But I can hear when the Thermomix is doing things. And so that's, I can hear that that's pretty much well mixed. Next, so evenly spread the spinach mixture. Let me show you our spinach mix. That looks lovely and green. So it might have been my cream cheese because it said fully room temp. And I know that when things are cold, they will actually lift up a bit, especially if you've got frozen fruit and stuff like that. All right. So let me tilt this down so you can see what I'm doing. And then mess. So it says, spread spinach mixture over one sheet of reserved rolled out puff pastry. I'm going to do that. So sometimes I've actually, because this actually cuts into a tree, you end up with some left over, or other times I've just cut it into slices. So it doesn't have to be a tree. It can be whatever you like, since you're in charge and there is no Thermomix police. So when I scrape out, I actually hang the Thermomix off my thumb. Then I can go around. So that's actually, I'm going to just leave some in there because that is quite a lot. And I didn't quite get it out to 12 inches in length. So So let's just leave it like that. And I'll just prep that up, leave it clean. Of course, I could have just scraped it on the side here. All right, I'll put that to one side to start with, and the lid. Right, so then the next step, cover with a second sheet, gently roll over the dough to seal the two pieces together. What I'll do is I'll take the blue plastic off and do it that way.
Are you still negative, Lisa?
Yes, 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 yes.
Hey?
Yep, I certainly am. Child is getting annoyed because I'm making her wear a mask everywhere and won't let her out of her room. But you know what? Too bad. Too bad. I am not catching it.
Oh, good on you.
I'm determined. All right, so rolling it out a little. Like this, and then leaving it for a while. So I'd probably maybe, instead of rolling it out a bit, leave it as is and maybe just get a second sheet out and cut that in half, and you can make a smaller tree. All right, okay. So cut out a large triangle or tree shape.
So quite a lot of mixture there then, Lisa.
Yes, yeah, quite a lot of mixture. And because the pastry is supposed to be 9 by 12, and my pastry is sort of 9 by 10 and a half. So I'll just cut. And then what I'll do is I will grab that baking paper, small baking paper, and pop it on there. So then there's nothing wrong with having odds and sods shapes as well. You know, yeah, good to show off to the neighbours, and then have some over to the side, and that would be why. I've still got the blue on the bottom. Hang on. Let's see here. There we go. Right. But I have made this a couple of times before and it's absolutely delicious. Has anybody else made it? Or has anybody else sort of seen it there and thought, yep, one day.
Yes, it's on my hit list to do.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I have several.
I was just going to say, it's probably good for like a Saturday morning brunch, or, you know, just if you're on the run and you just, you know, fancy, the kids probably want to pull apart or something, it'd be quite good.
Yeah. And it's, you know, I mean, that was pretty easy to do.
Lisa, I'm looking at your two triangles you're cutting out. You could actually make another tree by sticking them together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get a smaller tree.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
It's going to be a competition this Christmas between Peter, Marlene and I. Who's going to make the Christmas tree for Christmas?
She's already made one.
And then there's the...
Peter made one, a different one, a couple of years ago.
Ah,
oh,
yum.
awesome.
Well done, Peter.
And then, you know, the pavlova as well. So if you're online and you haven't seen the pavlova class from last week, it's actually on YouTube under my name. Lisa Galt Thermix consultant. I'm getting all technologically, well, I wouldn't say advanced, but you know, I'm getting there. All right. So this is probably another reason for taking it out of the freezer just before you're about to use it and not rolling it. But that's all right. It all tastes the same when it goes down into your stomach. Right. I might just tidy that up. So there's a couple of extra odd sods there and shapes. And a bit of baking paper. I'm just going to put that on there. Then over onto my tray. So tree shape from the pastry, transfer it onto a baking sheet. There we go. Cut the blue off the bottom. Hopefully you guys don't come here for perfection every week because you're not going to get it. All right. Okay, so then it says, make tree branches, place a ruler down the center, and with a sharp knife, cut strips from the edge of the tree towards the ruler, leaving the center intact. Twist each strip from the branches. So, I'm not going to bother with a ruler. Oh, no, all right. Maybe I will. I'll follow one rule. There we go. So then all you do is cut it out. Now, I wouldn't wait because the pastry actually joins itself back together because by now it's quite soft. So I would do this. So there's another recipe as well that does this sort of thing with the twists, and that is the sun-dried tomato and cream cheese something. And this is the same sort of thing as this. It actually says to cut it and then to twist, but I've found it's much better. Cut everything and then twist, but I found it's much better to cut and twist as you go. Okay. Just a little. How's everybody going out there?
Getting hungry.
I know.
Looking good.
I'm being very bad because I'm only feeding myself.
I've been salivating since I saw the picture at the beginning.
How good is it? So yeah, lesson learned there. Do not try and stretch out Australian pastry. Leave it as is.
So what was the other twist? This sun-dried?
So it's called sun-dried tomato and cream cheese sun. S-U-N. If you can find that.
For it. Yeah.
See what you can find.
Lisa,
right.
I just shared a handy tip. To minimise the pastry edges sticking together, when cutting, it's best to press the knife straight down rather than dragging it along the pastry.
Okay, cool.
But I know is pretty good with working with pastry and cakes and things, so thanks for that tip.
Awesome, thank you. That's a good one. Okay, 1 large egg and some water. So I've actually got my egg, water. Put that up a little. So then brush the assembled tree with egg wash. Okay. So same with the sun pastry. Did you find it, Claire?
Sorry, I was on mute. No, I haven't yet. Yeah.
Even if you just type in sun, S-U-N.
Yeah, I thought I'd give that a go.
Otherwise, I'll find it.
I have, though I have something I have found, sun-dried tomato, char and share bread. That looks quite delicious.
Ooh,
for another
nice.
time.
Yes.
But
Yeah, it's actually in the new celebration cookbook that just came out earlier this year.
Oh, okay. That will help.
So if you go to collections.
And, yeah, go to the celebration.
There we go. Okay, then bake for 20 to 25 minutes. So how's that look? And then, right, so at the end it says miniature peppers, but of course we don't have that, which is miniature capsicums in Australia, but I have got lots of gorgeous little different coloured tomatoes to whack on at the end. All right, so I will pop that in. And then we'll get cracking with our other stuff. Okay. So then the next yummy one. Just do that. So has anybody made the chai tea yet? The powder? I made some at Christmas for my family, and I actually put it into gorgeous little containers. So that was lots of fun. And I actually made the caramel as well for my nieces. I made the caramel sauce and the chocolate sauce because they love having it on their ice cream. Okay, so my wick. So chai tea powder. Start cooking. My 50, and that would be the one thing I didn't bring over. Cardamom pods. Give me 2 seconds. So, and in cooking, you've got normal cardamom pods, and then you've actually got, for your Indian cooking and your tandoori paste, it actually asks for black cardamom pods. Let me show you the difference. Let's tilt that down. That's normal cardamom pods, and that's black cardamom pods. So when you go to make the most amazing tasting tandoori paste, go out and do yourself a favor and actually buy the black cardamom pods for your Indian cooking. Okay. So how many we want? So that's 4, 6. 1 whole nutmeg.
I'm not sure if
Yep.
people realise, Lisa, but when on the chat, if you want to click on those chat websites, we'll actually take you to the recipe, and then you can actually save them. So when
yes,
Liz has put one on and Claire's put one on, we can actually click on that while we're watching.
while you're watching,
Have a quick look at the videos. So that might
That's a
stop
good
people
idea.
out. And then I usually go and have a look at them and think, oh, yeah, I'll save that one. And yeah, so it's good.
That's good. All right, so 2 cloves, 4 cloves, 6. And then 3 cinnamon cool. So I was down to 1 cinnamon cool today, and I had to go to a couple of different places to find it. So 3 of. Next, 1 vanilla bean cut into pieces. I had to go and buy some vanilla bean because I actually just use the vanilla bean paste. But this is just gorgeous looking. I know a lot of people when they used to go to Bali they get vanilla beans from there if anybody goes there eventually. Now that the world's back to normal. Just add Nicola there. All right, so vanilla bean cut into pieces. I've never actually used the whole bean before. I've actually only ever, I actually squeezed in some, just some vanilla bean paste last time I made it. 1/4 teaspoon of black peppercorns. This is great. Has anybody got suggestions for presents, like food presents to give friends and family at Christmas?
Chutney? Some chutneys?
Yeah, chutneys. I make a white Christmas with craisins instead of raisins, and I make lemon slice, you know, the classic 70s lemon slice, but I only ever make it once a year because otherwise I'll come and roll out of my house. So 30 seconds, speed 10. There we go. There we go.
Nicola's just asked a question there, Lisa.
Yeah.
Can you use, if you haven't got whole spice, can you use the powdered version instead?
Yes, but I would definitely do a little bit of research as to, that was what I was thinking I was going to have to do because of the cinnamon cool today. But I would do a bit of research as to what the equal measurement is. Okay, so what's it? Oh, 300 grams of milk powder. So there's our powder so far. And so don't forget, we actually had, you know, 3 cinnamon cools and a whole nutmeg. And in 30 seconds, it's pretty much pulverized it. So milk powder. $300 grams. I'll just tear it. So pretty much the only time of year I use milk powder actually is with my Christmas stuff. Almost perfect. Lovely. So 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. So yeah, this is a great food gift to give people. 60 grams of black tea leaves. Another idea is making your own homemade Baileys, or using your Baileys and making Baileys fudge is also quite a hit with people. 100 to 120 grams of white sugar. To taste, 138. Close enough. I'll just be extra sweet. Okay. Insert measuring cup. Now I'm just going to get out of the grooves the powder because we don't want to waste any. I want that not to be mixed.
One of my favourite Christmas recipes is shortbread with the raisins and the pistachio nuts. It's got the real Christmas colour.
Yeah, the green and red. Yeah, there's actually a recipe on Cookadoo with that. So 30 seconds speed 9, and then you'll need to let me know if you can hear me.
I've also made limoncello.
Sorry.
I've also made limoncello. There's a recipe on Cookadoo for limoncello. The Italian, yeah, it's delicious.
I'm not sure if everyone knows what we're talking about when we're talking about Cookadoo. There might be some people that don't know what Cookadoo is. If you could explain, Lisa.
What's that?
If you could explain what Cookadoo is, there may be some people that don't know what Cookadoo is.
So Cookadoo is our recipe platform, which gives us, if you have every single recipe that Cookadoo gives you, there's 83,000 recipes on there. But we just start with the Australian recipes. There's about 3,000. And if you select English, there's about 9,000 English recipes that are followable on your screen, on your Thermomix. And then you can also import or create your own recipes in Cookadoo as well, which is fantastic. And every recipe has a picture at the start and every recipe has a picture at the end. And so transfer into a container. So there is my chai. And so did that make sense, what I just said? It's basically a recipe platform for use on the Thermomix. Although if you have a TM5 or a TM31, you can also use Cookadoo, however, not to the extent that you can use it on your TM6. Because the TM6 as well, you can go up to 120 degrees in temperature with just normal manual mode. But with Cookadoo itself, you can actually go up to 160 degrees. So you can brown your onion, make your honeycomb and your caramels and stuff like that. There's my chai. I'll just show you.
Liz, how long would that limoncello last? I mean, with the abundance of lemons at the moment, could you make it now and it would still be okay later in the year?
Yeah, because it's alcohol.
Yeah, in fact,
alcohol lasts.
Yeah, in fact, the recipe virtually, says to leave it, I think, for 6 days. I actually left mine for a whole year.
Wow.
Because
Nice.
the lemons from my tree didn't have a lot of flavour. And so it's actually the skin, the peel. And so I let it infuse. So I ended up giving it to my friends for the Christmas after it was I had intended. And it was delicious. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for that.
idea. Yeah. So caramel sauce. We'll get
Sorry,
that in
Lisa,
here.
just with the chai powder, how do we then use it after that?
Okay. Let me go back to my recipe because the chai tea powder should have, here you go, hints and tricks at the end. So you place 250 grams of water and 3 to 4 teaspoons of the chai tea powder into a mixing bowl. Warm it to 100 degrees, let it steep for stronger tea, and then strain, and away you go. So I actually like coffee as well. So I'll have a shot of coffee, and so that's called a what's
Dirty
it called?
chai. A
Dirty chai. Dirty chai, that's the one. Yep. So I have my dirty chai, and that's lovely, really lovely. And then conventional brewing is 3 to 4 teaspoons into a mesh tea strainer infuser. Oh yeah. So, and just brew it like normal tea. Sealable storage jar for up to a month. So it makes quite a lot. So I would plan, if you don't drink, chai tea 6 times a day, I'd plan on making it when you're going to gift it to some of the neighbours, and then everyone can be enjoying it as well.
I was interested to see you had black tea in there. I love the smell of chai tea, but it makes me feel ill. And it's actually the black tea leaves that make me feel not so good in the stomach. So I'm just looking at that. I could actually make that.
And just leave it out.
So yeah, worth a try.
And then you've just got the flavour. I mean, of course, it's not got the tea flavour, but you could still whack it in some coffee or whatever, and that I would assume would taste just fine.
I will give it a try.
You can also try the rooibos tea.
Sorry,
the rooibos, tea.
I have tried that in the past. Not a big fan, but I'd love the smell of the chai tea, and I'm like, no, something about it. That's the tea.
Yeah, if I'm going to get it sounds a bit pretentious, but if I'm going to get a coffee from a coffee place, because I love how the coffee that I make at home is just perfect for me. So normally I'll sometimes get the dirty chai, just because I don't always like the coffee that they make. So we're now going to use sugar stages, which is our max heat. So it says, to guarantee the success of the recipe, ingredients must match the quantity and description given. So this is where I got in trouble that time, where I put a little too much sugar and added a bit too much of this and a bit too much of that, and actually said to me, the weight is not as described, I will not perform this function. So just know when you start that you want, I mean, it's not going to be to the gram, it may be 10 grams out, it'll tell you off. Cooked immediately after placing the sugar in the mixing bowl. Okay, so I'm going to do brown sugar because I think that gives caramel a lovely flavour. Oops. 237, 254. Just take a little bit out. There we go. On the knocker of 250. So 70 grams of cream. So I use my old whipping cream. It's the Harvey Fresh or the Brown Brothers, that one that I use all the time for whipping cream, for butter, for everything. So 70 grams of cream. Tea, 30 grams of water. So I'm going to use a spoon for that. So I know the moment I tip that, it'll be a lot more. Teaspoon of lemon juice.
Jenny just said she's going to make us all Christmas hampers.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh. Tell me when. I'll come pick it up. Okay, so 30 grams of butter salted, as cold as possible, 1 piece. Right, let's see what we can do. It's not super cold because it's been sitting here, but 33, close enough. Right, so place our splash guard. So we use a splash guard when we use max heat. And I will show you what that is. We take our measuring cup out and we grab our other. So this comes with the Thermomix splash guard. So that actually sits on top. You say done. And once you turn the dial, it actually locks it on to the lid. So 28 minutes, oh God, max. I'm going to go over time. And then all you need to do with sugar stages is turn it 1 click and away it goes. But what we'll do is we talk about, and the tree should be done soon as well. So that starts up. Now, with the max heat, it stirs. And so normally when you're cooking, it will actually have a temperature here in the middle temperature gauge. But this time, because it wants max heat, it's going to control the temperature. So all you see is max. And then once it gets to 37, see how it's green? And then once it gets past 60 degrees, that line will turn red. And our lights here will turn red. There we go. It's hit 60. And it says caramelizing. So around it goes. Okay. All right. Any more questions? I'll just check and see how long our tree has to go. So it's got about 4 minutes. Oh. Lesson learned on that one. I'll see if I can find a picture and show you a nicer picture, because it's actually spread out. How is everybody going so far? Has anybody learned anything from tonight? And you'll always learn from my mistakes, which is always good. Oh, hang on.
Yeah. I think I'd like to make it. It looks really good. The
yeah,
Christmas tree.
Yeah. I think I've just left it that touch too long. That the pastry's gotten really, really soft. So I'm just going to share and show you. That's another one that I made the other day, where I didn't put it into a tree. I just twirled it as one piece, and that turned out much better because I didn't actually roll the pastry. I didn't try and get fancy, and I don't think I put as much filling in either. Stop share. See if I can find another one. Where I've made it before as the tree. Yeah, anybody else? So talk to me about Christmas things that you've made and that people have enjoyed.
I think the chutneys go down well.
Yes, because it's something that you can use. Now, one that I found, they brought out, there's a black recipe collection that came out with so it's a black, it says black limited edition collection that came out at the same time as the black Thermomix. And that actually has a black garlic and red caramelized onion chutney. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, that thing. So I highly recommend that. Yeah, that's really good.
If you like beetroot, I recommend the beetroot chutney, which is in the roast beef rolls under the Platinum Jubilee cookbook.
Yeah,
that was delicious. That beetroot, the chutney there,
awesome.
very nice.
Yeah. Oh, and bacon jam.
Oh,
Can I say bacon jam? So like for your ploughman's lunch, where you've got, you know, chunks of meat and all that sort of stuff, bacon jam is fantastic. I'm not finding it. And the one I'm about to take out the oven is not uber super pretty. I was a little bit too full of myself, which is all right. Going, oh, I've made it before.
Gingerbread house, we've got in the
Yes.
chat, and mango chili. That sounds nice. And also white Christmas using white chocolate instead of copper. And also
Nice.
salted pretzel, toffee and dark chocolate bark. They all sound very good. I think we need a in-person workshop leading up to Christmas.
Yes. Yes. Actually, here's let me do a screen share again. This is the sun. That's the
Looks
yes,
yummy.
which I'll be making again next week for someone's 16th birthday. That's fantastic, and it's amazing because it's pull apart, which is lots of fun. Are you going to get it out? Are you? Oh, someone's hungry. Anyway, it's not pretty though. Don't tilt it. No, not quite. Give another 5 minutes. Yeah, so the pastry hasn't kept its shape as much, but that's all right. You'll see the how it sort of should be. So we've still got 23 minutes for that. Has anyone got any other questions, or shall I do some cookie do lessons? Has everybody got time to stay on, or
The host rewards, I think you could cover.
yes, we do that one. Yeah, no worries. Let me actually, I'll share. Let me open those. So everybody knows that. So every week we do this virtual. This is our virtual class. We do. Let me just open that. So it's same time, same place, same code, and then just slightly a touch quieter, dear. She's doing Milo like the world is ending. I know. Okay, can you see that? So there's our, if you host a cooking experience between the 21st and the 31st of July, not only do you get your host rewards, so if nobody buys, you actually get a discounted host reward, and if someone buys, you get a free host reward, but you also get, yeah, it's very cool. Yes, so black thermo server. Yeah. So there's our black thermo server. I'll get a normal one out. So you'll find that you'll end up collecting a bunch of different shaped thermo servers. So we've got different sizes, different shapes. It's fantastic for entertaining. A thermo server is actually pretty much like a thermos, where it keeps your food hot for 2 hours or it keeps it cold. And you can also rise, if you don't actually have a bread mat, you can rise your bread dough in a thermo server if you just pre-warm it. But of course, as always, the more you fill it and the hotter it is when it starts, the longer it will stay hot, but definitely 2 hours. Let me then share our host rewards at the moment. Let's close that. Put that down the bottom. Let's open that up. Okay, can everybody see that? So at the moment, we have our normal host rewards. So you've got the oval thermo server, the round thermo server, the white thermo server, or the 2 baking mats. So then you've got the added July and August. You actually have the choice of the blade peeler and cover, and 100. So there's it's a digital cookbook, but it's like 152 pages of digital cookbook. It's fantastic. It's got links with videos and all sorts of stuff on it. So if you host and you have 2 guests, so this is something that you could do next week if you wanted to. You could do it in person or via Zoom. Just ask your consultant. Or you could invite 2 friends next Thursday to our next Thursday class. And then if they both come along and you're here, then you qualify for host rewards. And if one of them buys a Thermomix, then you get a host reward for free, plus the black thermo server for free. Or if nobody buys, that's no problem. You still get to access your host rewards. So your round thermo server, $30, absolute bargain. Or the blade cover and peeler and the digital cookbook is $41.40. Was that clear as mud for everybody? And then also our big advertising is that for July and for August, join our team. And you can actually start off with a business kit, which has $340 worth of stuff in it for $62.50. You know, you can't start any other business for $62.50. And then you could either earn a Thermomix or earn a second Thermomix if you've already got one, all that sort of stuff. Now, let me go and get our tree. So while I'm doing that, do you ladies want to talk about, Liz, do you want to talk about what you love about being a consultant?
Yeah, what I really love is that all the people that I've met, and then following up after they've had a Thermomix and seeing how it's made a difference to the way they cook and in their lives, especially when they're busy mums, and just hearing the things that they make and just like me, I would never, ever have attempted before, you know, without a Thermomix, things like baking breads and doughs and things like that. And yeah, just being able to be more creative. So that's what I love.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So this is a bit of a fail. So if you've ever seen the, you know, the Pinterest, is it called Pinterest fail or something like that, where you can see what it should have looked like versus what it did turn out like. So it's a bit squished, but you can see the pretty much what it meant. And so when you make it, make sure that you don't bring the pastry out too early so that it's too soft. And don't put too much filling in because there's more than enough. But you can sort of see the shape. Sort of see the shape. Oh. And don't worry if you have fails because we all do. Oh dear. Oh, let me put this down.
I bet you it tastes delicious anyway.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. So yeah, I'm going to put some colourful tomatoes on it and give it a burn. Oh. Hang on, let me just yell at child and dog. There we go. Okay. What else? Any other questions? Miss Maud's style dark rye bread. Do any of you ladies have a rye bread idea? I've not had a lot of rye bread experience as yet, but I could be challenged to find a good one. So we've still got that going for 14 minutes. Let me see. Oh, yes, our purchase offer as well. Let me find that. So somebody is going to eat it anyway. And I'll be lucky if there's any left. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to put that picture up. Oh, there we go. Yeah, use the handle too. All right, let me just share screen. There we go. Okay, so our purchase offer at the moment until the 1st of August is actually 18 months of cookie dough free. So what happens when you buy, normally when you buy a Thermomix, you sign up to Cookie Dough and you get a 1 month free trial. So even if you don't have a Thermomix, go to cookiedough.com.au, sign up for your month free trial. And then when you purchase a Thermomix, when you actually log in your Cookie Dough to Cookie Dough on your Thermomix, you get another 6 months for free. But this month you actually get an extra 12 months. So it's 18 months total plus your 1 month trial. So that's 19 months of Cookie Dough. So that's our purchase offer at the moment. And then what else? Do we want to wait and see what the caramel looks like? Does everyone have 12 minutes to spare? We've gone way over tonight. Yeah, no. Feel free. Let me log in and I'll share my Cookie Dough. So let me show you a little bit about Cookie Dough, if no one's complaining about staying.
And perhaps the new features and the created recipes that we can now do.
Yes, definitely. All right, so I was searching Christmas things before. So you've got the turkey buffet. That is actually a beautiful dish. The Herbie quinoa stuffing, that's lovely. So what I actually did, so let's go to Explore. So Cookie Dough you can have as an app on your phone. You can have it as I have a website, and then it's also on your Thermomix. Now, they're all connected. So whatever you do on any of the platforms will link up. As soon as you turn your Thermomix on, anything that you've done, like your meal planning or your shopping or anything like that, will actually come straight onto your Thermomix. Once it turns on, hooks to your Wi-Fi, hooks to your Cookie Dough, and away you go. And what we have is latest recipes. And then we've also got, so there's videos on in Cookie Do. And there's also videos now in the recipes themselves. Every so often you'll come across a recipe where it actually shows you on a video what to do. Especially there's a pasta, you make your pasta dough, and at the end it actually shows you how to shape all the different pastas, which is fantastic. But within Cookie Do itself, then you've got Most Cooked. So it's Thursday today. So there's all sorts of lovely, normal food. When you log in on a Monday to Cookie Do, 99% of the time, there will be at least 2 cocktails every Monday, because it'll be what everybody's cooked the weekend before. So when Melbourne and Sydney went into lockdown last year, basically for, I think, 2 weeks straight, there was nothing but cocktails as Most Cooked on Cookie Do, which I thought was kind of funny. So we've got savings. So there's all sorts of stuff that you can look at. Ways to cook mushrooms, eat green, all that sort of stuff. There's recipe spotlight, winter savings. So there's lots of things even just on the front page to encourage you to get out there and make something amazing. So collections are actually, every recipe is in a collection. So the collection might actually be, so this book here is actually a book. So if you've got the circle there, that's actually a cookbook, whereas the one next to it, or the one, because I can't say that word, the newsletter is just a collection of about 7 to 10 recipes. Whereas the ones with the circle will be more like a cookbook, so anything from 80 to 180 recipes. And then when you're actually searching, we'll go up the top. Let's type in chicken and hit return. So then we've got 1,272 results. So there's lots of things there, but then we can actually go to filters here and actually nut down exactly what you want. So do you want main dishes? Do you want certain ingredients? So I'm going to type in carrot. Now you actually have to click on the word and it actually sits up the top there. So carrot and chicken, you got 228 results. Then you've got tags. So say you want gluten-free, there's 45 results, 46. And then easy, medium, advanced, your time, your portions, your ratings. I'm not so big on ratings because I like what I like. I probably wouldn't do maybe a 2-star though, but there's certainly 3-star recipes out there that I absolutely adore. Then you got your version and then your language. So I always tick English because you actually get, you know, Australia, Canada, all those sorts of things. So let's show our 46. So there's things there. And then I am going to show you, so anything with dots and lines, have a click on it.
I don't want any toast. Thank you. Thanks, Lon.
So cook today, bookmark, add to a collection, my week or your shopping list. So I'm going to add to shopping list. And then, so I will go to my week, see how I've got those things that I added, but then I've also got my shopping list. So I'm going to show the ingredients there. And then I've got sesame seeds, so I'm going to tick that box and it's going to disappear. I've got water, that's going to disappear. So then the things down the bottom, you can also add additional items. And then when you click order ingredients, if someone wants to keep talking, you choose your store and it will come up. There you go. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so then you can swap out for the brand that you like. All the different honeys there. You can select which one you like, and then you can either you can add to your Woolworths cart, and then you can either get it picked up or delivered. So that's very exciting. I love that feature. Let's move that out the way. We'll go back to our shopping list. Now, my recipes. So I actually have, so I've got a couple of bookmarks, but then I've actually created a whole bunch of things. So I've got, we were going to do a cooking class on the 25th of June. So I put a couple of things in there, gluten-free, Asian cooking class, all that sort of stuff. Ideas that my daughter likes. And then you've also got, if we come back here, we've got created recipes. So created recipes are recipes that I've actually imported either from recipecommunity.com.au. You can't actually import recipes from Taste or any of those other websites. Only recipecommunity.com.au. And what recipecommunity.com.au is the recipe website that Thermomix in Australia has had for 10, 15 years, because we never had cookie dough and all our recipes on our Thermomix. So there's recipes from Thermomix in Australia, from chefs, from consultants, from customers, just amazing, amazing recipes. So you can actually go there and actually transfer it over to here. Now, this is one that I've done, Edna's Lemon Curd Tea Cake. Highly recommend. Lots of sugar, but it's beautiful to give to guests. So I've imported that, and then it's come across with the picture and all the instructions. And what I've actually done is broken it down. Actually, no, I haven't. Let's have a look. So I can actually change that so that it will actually come up on my Thermomix properly. So that might be a little bit extra, but you've got the ingredients, you can change the prep steps, all that sort of stuff. And then I am going to go back. You can also, if you have a cookie dough recipe that you love, but you do it slightly differently. So I do the creamy tomato and salami fettuccine. Let's hit explore. Let's have a look at this biryani style rice. I'm going to open it. I'm going to add it to my created recipes. Contains modes, right? That's all right. Because it actually contains the rice cooker mode and the egg mode. So let us just click done and we'll find a different recipe. Asparagus and saffron risotto. That should be too hard. Add to created recipes. Oh, they're all modes ones. All right, hang on. We get there. We will get there. There you go. Katsu chicken curry with rice. Add to created recipes. There we go. So then if I wanted to change it, if I wanted to change the ingredients and then change the prep steps, I can go in and edit, as you can see here. And you can put your own hints and tips in there as well. And then once I'm done, I then can go over here. Let me stop share so you can see my screen again. I'm actually just going to come out of this and go to my recipes, created recipes. And there's my katsu chicken curry. So I can't open it because I'm doing something already. Oh, no, I can. Hello. And then there's all my steps and stuff there. So you can actually change a recipe of cookie dough as well. Or if you're a really great cook, create your own recipes and then upload them. I'd probably do it on your laptop rather than on the app because it takes forever. Well, not forever, but it's a complicated process. So bigger screen, better results. We've got 52 seconds left. Has anybody got any questions, comments, thoughts, anything? Except for we've proved that I can talk forever. No? All right.
I'd just like to thank Peter, my host tonight, and Vicky that's come on board. And Stacey's just had to leave to put her kids to bed. She was admin.
Yep.
We didn't know who she was. And Veronica as well. So thank all three.
Fabulous. Thank you.
I hope you got a lot out of this evening. And
yeah.
I'll
Thanks
get
for
in
coming
contact
along.
with Peter. Yeah.
Awesome. And this is what we love to do, is that, I mean, how easy was that just to, you know, sit there and watch somebody else talk and cook and learn something, you know, without needing to host, especially in these times. Okay, so add some cream. I'm going to do that. $130 to $180. Let's go in between, do 150. The next, without the measuring cup. So 2 minutes, slow stir. And I will bring this up. You can see them there.
Anything we need is smell-o-vision.
Oh, I know. Smells good. Very good. All right, how are we going there? All right. And yeah, as well. So, well, we've got a minute and a half. So my story is, as a consultant, that I knew how to cook, but I never did. I knew every microwave, email the food to me. I could do my best. I knew every box and jar timing in the freezer and on the shelf. And then, so I actually went to a cooking demo, a Thermix demo, and I was like that. So I've heard this thing's amazing, prove it. And so by the end of the demo, I'd got my credit card out. And then within a year, I had become a consultant. And I've been a consultant 6 out of the last 8 years, or 9 years now. No, 8 years. And I just love it. Love it. And I have such confidence in the machine itself. That, you know, I'll try anything and have confidence that it'll turn out, apart from my tree, which I'm actually a little bit miffed with myself about, but that's all right. That's all right. Thanks everyone for coming along.
Pop the tomatoes on and it will look a lot better.
Exactly. Well, I think it's got a big gouge out of it now. Because, yeah. Because Miss Jessica, next without measuring cup. Oh, another 3 minutes. Blimey, Charlie. Hang on. Let's just show you. Ooh, no, not quite. Oh, it's lovely and thick though. Let me just show you. There we go. It's quite dark because I use the dark brown sugar. Right, peer view. Oh, there you go. Pour into an airtight. Now that's the other thing you can do. While it's cooking, you can actually check out the next steps. And what this step is doing, it says place once you've taken the caramel out, you can actually put 1,000 grams of water and some vinegar in, and it will clean itself. That's the other beauty of the Thermomix, is that it will clean itself. And then we just press the number there. It takes me back to where I was. So I would love to see, if you make the trees, how yours turned out. That'd be fabulous. That'd be really, really good to see how everybody else has turned out. A minute or 2 minutes is never so long as when you're actually just standing waiting for something. Any other questions, comments? Yes, and thanks to Peter again for hosting tonight, a little demo, and thanks everybody else for coming along as well. That's fantastic. Oh, and if you have any ideas for next Thursday, please pop them in the comments. We're always looking for things. We can keep with the Christmas in July theme or do something else. I do make a mean turkey roulade that actually is steamed, and that's actually really, really nice. So you do the turkey breast, put the stuffing in, roll it, encase it in alfoil and baking paper, and then steam it in our varoma that sits on top. And that's a really nice dish as well. Unless anybody else can think of something that they would love to see, challenge me to make. Possibly that rye bread, but I'd have to see how long that takes, since my timing this week's a little bit out.
Can I just ask Peter, what have they been eating?
Oh yeah.
Viennetta ice cream. We did have,
that's a classic.
pizza for dinner made in the Thermomix. So it was
I wondered whether the kids had been making something in the Thermomix.
No, I haven't quite managed to get them cooking in it yet. I keep suggesting.
You will have to get them into it. I thought it was something in a bowl that they'd made. So
Be nice, but no.
I love Viennetta.
Oh, it's my favourite too.
Okay, so we've got our little glass jars. Hopefully it doesn't. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, let's tilt this down. And I don't put my little. That's all right. So here's our caramel. Absolutely worth the wait. How good is that? You can also make your chocolate magic, where you have your chocolate that goes rock hard on your ice cream. That's really good. Okay, so do the clean. Use the caramel sauce as needed, but let us see how long. Just go back to the. Yeah, salted caramel, add a teaspoon of salt. Oh, butterscotch sauce is made with dark brown sugar, butter, and a splash of whiskey. Oh. Okay, so there's some different ideas there as well. But yeah, that's absolutely gorgeous. And so if you use white sugar, it would not be as dark, but I love my caramel just that little bit darker. That's gorgeous. Okay, so I think that's that today. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming along. And yeah, hope to see you next week. Same time, I will keep it to 45 minutes next week, but definitely send some suggestions of things that we can make. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you, Lisa. Yep.
And we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Keep
Thanks.
staying negative. I mean, keep positive and stay negative.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not catching this thing. I'm running as fast as I can.